Where there is life. Welcome to Spotlight. I'm Robin Vaseline. And I'm Ryan Giersma. Spotlight uses a special English method of broadcasting. It is easier for people to understand no matter where in the world they live. A question brought me to the point of ending my life when I was 50 years old. My question was the most simple one that lies in every person. It is the question without which life is impossible. Why do I live? Why do I wish for anything or do anything? Is there anything in my life that will not be destroyed by my death? These are the words of the famous Russian writer Leo Tolstoy. Like Tolstoy, many people ask these difficult questions, and they struggle to find meaning in their life. Tolstoy spent his whole life trying to answer difficult questions like this. His search for answers influenced his writing. Today's spotlight is on Leo Tolstoy, his faith, and his writings. On August 28, 1828, Leo Nikolaevich Tolstoy was born in the country of Russia. Both of his parents died while he was still a child, and he and his brothers and sisters lived with other family members for the rest of their childhoods. As a child, Tolstoy was a member of the Russian Orthodox Church, but as a young man, he began to question that faith. Tolstoy wanted to make his own moral decisions. He was tired of being told what to believe. He thought people could achieve a degree of perfection if they tried hard enough, so he worked very hard at being the best in everything he did. He thought that he would find meaning and truth in success. In the 1850s, Leo Tolstoy wrote his first stories. He wrote about his experiences in the military. He also told stories about when he was a child. These works were published, and Tolstoy became a well-known writer. Tolstoy was finally successful. He earned the respect he always wanted. Many wealthy and intelligent men met and talked with Tolstoy. Some of the men were writers like him. They talked a lot about faith and the meaning of life. But soon, Tolstoy recognized that these men were not perfect. They were proud and they made very bad moral choices. Tolstoy had thought these rich and powerful men could answer his questions about faith. Now he knew they could not. So in the 1860s, Tolstoy tried a different way to find meaning. He opened a school for the children of his serfs, the people who worked on his land. These workers were very poor. He wanted to help them because he thought they were more honest than the wealthy people he knew. Tolstoy learned many things from his workers. He respected how they worked hard to provide for their families. He began to believe that marriage and family would give his life meaning. So in 1862, Leo Tolstoy married a young woman named Sonia Bears. The next 15 years were the best years of Tolstoy's life. It was during this time that he wrote his most famous books, War and Peace and Anna Karenina. Many literature experts say that War and Peace is one of the greatest books ever written. Both War and Peace and Anna Karenina communicate Tolstoy's beliefs about the Russian nation, church, and people. They also communicate what he thought was the answer to all his questions. Tolstoy believed humans were supposed to live a simple life and take care of their families. Tolstoy thought this would satisfy him and bring him happiness. But after writing these books, Tolstoy entered into a dark depression. He was very sad and lonely. He had achieved everything he wanted. He had a large family, a loving wife, and all the respect and money he could ever want. But he could not help wondering if any of that would matter after his death. Leo Tolstoy began wondering if believing in God would answer his question about life. For 9 years, he wrote only about faith and religion. These new beliefs changed the way Tolstoy thought about faith. He rejected all systems of government and religion, but he did not resist this system with violence. He wanted only to be left alone. Tolstoy tried to live with the poor and to give away all of his property and wealth. However, many people today believe Tolstoy did not live with his own teachings. He would often fight with his wife and children. Tolstoy's new faith made him believe it was wrong to have a lot of money and nice things, but he was still very wealthy and owned a lot of property. His wife would not let him sell anything. Some experts believe Tolstoy did not really want to sacrifice any of his comfort and wealth for his faith. For the rest of his life, Tolstoy's work was strongly influenced by his new beliefs. Some of the best-known stories from his time in his life are The Death of Ivan Ilyich and Hadij Murad. These works are about how everyone comes to the same end in life. Tolstoy was very afraid of his own death, but he found peace in his faith. In his book Confession, he wrote about his different beliefs during his life and said, "I only lived during those times when I believed in God." Many people followed Tolstoy's teachings about faith. Some people saw him as a spiritual teacher. He felt even more pressure to live a moral and simple life. He would often take long trips to rest from his followers and his family. In fact, it was on one of these trips in 1910 that Leo Tolstoy became very sick and died. He was 82 years old. Leo Tolstoy is still a very respected writer today. His faith and writings have influenced many people. Tolstoy's search for the meaning of life is something everyone can understand. His teachings still interest people all over the world. In his book Confession, he encourages many people to ask the hard question about life and faith. He says, Where there is life, there is faith. Since the day Earth was created, faith made it possible for humans to live, because faith gives the meaning to life that cannot be destroyed by suffering, poverty, or death. Tolstoy's faith saved him from his depression. He believed it gave meaning to being alive. Do you believe faith gives meaning to life? How would you answer some of Tolstoy's questions? Tell us what you think. You can email us at radio@english.net or leave a comment on our website. The writer of this program was Corey Haluga. The producer was Ryan Giersma. The voices you heard were from the United States and the United Kingdom. All quotes were adapted and voiced by Spotlight. You can find this program and others on our website at www.radio.english.net. This program is called Where There Is Life. We hope you can join us again for the next Spotlight program. Goodbye.